Hi everyone, Dennis Foley from Acoustic Fields. Today we're going to talk about that emotional connection to music. I mean, that's, I think, the main reason a lot of us go through the trials and tribulations we do in our rooms. You know, trying to get the speakers to sound good, trying to get the amplifiers to sound good, trying to get all the equipment to synergize together, if you will, and create some kind of emotional connection to the music. Some of us do a little bit better than others. I think we all know the limitations of what we have to work with, our speakers and our amplifiers, but one of the key determinants we use in setting up rooms and helping people out is the emotional connectivity. It doesn't really matter a lot of times if it's right or wrong. It's what's right for you emotionally. I mean, do you feel involved with the musical presentation in your room? Do you feel like, you know, you're part of the presentation? Do your speakers disappear? Do you not see all the room treatment in your room and realize that it's all for the benefit of sound? So let's break down a little bit about that step by step so we can kind of get an analytical feel, if you will, for that process. So we're all familiar with fundamental notes, middle C, all the notes on a piano keyboard. Let's use 200 cycles as our example. So the fundamental note is 200, but then we have all these partials, which are the harmonics, the resonances, if you will, from that tone. So we want to make sure that we focus on these for our emotional connection to the music. Yes, we need the note because that gives birth to the partials and the harmonics, but we want to make sure that we treat, we treat our rooms for these, because this is really where the emotion lies. So we must have really good definition and separation between the fundamental and the harmonic. That's really key to the situation, because we're going to go back to my old statement about essence is form and substance. So form is the fundamental, but the real substance is in the harmonic. So when and here's another word for it, tail. You hear a lot of musicians use this word here, tail, for the harmonic. And we really have to design our room for the tail or the harmonic, because that's really what we want to connect with emotionally. And a good example of that, I watch a lot of guitarists play their instrument. And your really good guitarists like Santana, B.B. King, Clapton, any of those guys, they really get the guitar singing. They really want to turn it into a vocalist, so to speak. So they want to get their guitar singing, making it more human, okay? Well, making it more human connects back to the fundamental and the harmonic, and getting it singing gives it more emotion. So if you watch how they play, their goal is to make it sing. Even though they can't sing, their guitar can. So that's a thing that we must do. Now, on the treatment side, how do we do that? Well, we have our two technologies, absorption and diffusion. And I see a lot of people using absorption, and that's good. That's good. But you have to be careful with absorption and the harmonics, because there's a tendency to kill the harmonic with too much absorption. So you want to be really careful, get a nice balance in your room of absorption, get your reflections managed, balance them out with the direct energy, and then use diffusion to add some air and separation to the harmonic. So it's a balancing act, as always, between absorption and diffusion. So both technologies must be used. Don't use one too much. In our studios, we absorb to the point where there's real strong definition. Then we absorb just a little bit more. And then we add diffusion. And that gets the harmonics really shining and coming through in the presentation. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our videos today, and if you did, we really would appreciate a thumbs up from you. If you have any questions or comments, you can go to the comment section, or you can go to our website, acousticfields.com, and fill out the contact form. Subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. We're now doing 2 videos a week. If you have some ideas for topics, you can submit those to us also. If you're having room issues, we have that free room analysis. You can click on the button below, and we'll compare your room to our database of 120 built rooms that we built and actually measured, and I guarantee you your room is in that database. So just click on the button below for the free room analysis. Thank you.